And they should learn from the best practice that's taking place in collaborations between HE and FE. As well as which, colleges must be freed to help young people leave school only to find themselves not in education, employment, or training. We need approachable, attainable routes back into learning. Research has shown that someone failed by the education system first time round usually benefits from taking small steps on the return journey to learning. FE colleges and other providers are well placed to develop programs that, by enhancing young people's confidence and employability, feed social mobility. That's why the opposition has announced an additional £100 million per year of targeted support to enable them to do so. And we have proposed radical changes to ensure that workplace training meets the needs of individuals and employers. I believe that every apprenticeship should match the best. All should confer real practical competencies, and the test of that is whether or not they boost employability. And all should provide the opportunity to progress. We will make it much easier for companies to run apprenticeships by paying them directly, and will provide a major boost by injecting almost £800 million of support to apprenticeships at all levels, creating 100,000 new apprenticeships each year, 500,000 over the lifetime of Parliament. Because the cost to small and medium-sized businesses are greater, we believe we need to offer them still more support through an apprenticeship bonus of £2,000 for each apprentice they take on. But we must also give people the wherewithal to access these new opportunities. Too often, people, especially young people, simply don't get the advice and guidance they need to turn their ambitions into real life. By abolishing the career service for young people and replacing it with connections, which also provide support on issues ranging from housing to drugs to sexual health, the government undermined the professionalism of careers advisors. In 2/3 of schools in England, careers advice is given by staff without any formal qualifications in the field. 2 years ago, a House of Lords report concluded that young people are not getting the information they need to access apprenticeships. And a recent study found that 31% of young people feel they're not getting enough information about going to university. We need to, and a Conservative government would, establish a dedicated and impartial all-age advice and guidance service. That service will have a profile in our cities and towns, and it will have a presence in every school and college in the country. Everyone should have access to university-recognised, community-based, impartial advice and guidance about education and careers options. And you will have noticed that I described as an all-age service. It's critically important that as a result of the recession, people need to reskill, and because of the changing nature of our economy, of the continuing need for people to upskill, that older learners, people re-entering the workforce, people coming back to learning, can get advice conveniently and of an effective kind. That, at the moment, is largely a matter of chance. And it is extraordinary that Scotland and Northern Ireland have such an all-age service, but the government is unhappy to make the same service available in England. I believe that education and training are key to unlocking individual potential, enabling all of us to play our part in building a socially mobile, just and cohesive society. Why do I place such an emphasis on social mobility? Because in a free society with its inevitable inequalities, ethically, one can only justify those inequalities if people can achieve their ambitions as a result of their endeavours and talents, regardless of from where they start. And social cohesion depends on that too. The perception that that is so gives us all the feeling that we live in a fair country. Without social mobility, frankly, those inequalities are hard to legitimise. As a country, we led the world into the Industrial Revolution, and we led the world into the post-industrial age too. I believe that we can lead the world again into a new economy, a 21st century economy, and it will require people with high-level skills. We're simply not going to go back to making tin plate metal toys as we once did. We're never going to be able to compete with emerging economies in terms of labour costs. Britain's future success is the success of a high-skilled, high-tech economy. Advanced economies need advanced skills. And so we need an education system that is flexible enough to respond to the changing nature of the economy, to these new demands. But the recession has shown us that the current system of central control is preventing universities, colleges, and other providers from responding in the way and at a pace that they know is now needed. One college principal recently told me, quote, "How quickly we respond to changes in demand depends on how quickly the LSE changes its rules. And heaven knows what the new system is going to be like." Instead of becoming ever more prescriptive, instructing and dictating, we should trust the expertise of those with a sound track record to deliver. We should build on the best and expand what the best are doing. We must look and learn from those institutions that have led the way in broadening access, those institutions that have been most responsive to changing demands of learners and the changing nature of the economy, and we must evangelize to the rest. Instead of telling potential students they must study in a particular way, at a particular time, and in a particular place, we should be opening up provision and valuing different forms of lifelong learning. And instead of strangling further education with ever more red tape, we dismantle the bureaucracy and trust colleges to manage their own affairs. With all the immense human capital, free, independent, self-regulated. And we should trust learners to make their own decisions about what to study, supported by a dedicated and professional all-age careers and guidance service. In respect of universities, we must understand that if university expansion is to continue, building on the best, as I've said, we must address the issue of access. I will not be content, as I've indicated, until we build a more mobile, cohesive, and just nation. I will not be content, to paraphrase F.E. Smith, until all with stout hearts and sharp minds have their chance of glittering prizes. Thank you very much.